Ryan Little.
Japan.
Yo, what's up, Pride Nation? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the installment. All right, guys, we're going to talk about the growth and development of the young players on the team. The truth of the matter is this, if the young guys are getting better, then that is a step in the right direction. I know a lot of people put out videos and said that the future is bright in Detroit, but truly the future is only bright when the young players are developing. Getting the experience out on the football field is what's going to make this team better. Shout out to Kerby Joseph and shout out to Derrick Barnes coming off career high games for the Detroit Lions. I definitely believe that this has been the best game by far by Derrick Barnes. As a linebacker for the Detroit Lions, he has been playing in and out on limited snaps, and I just thought that Derrick Barnes should be a starter. It's year 2, and I think that it's time for Derrick Barnes to take his game to the next level. Now, I know that the Lions decided to bring back Alex Anzalone, so it pretty much kind of put him back a little bit. But at the same time, you love to see the growth and the maturity out on the field from Derrick Barnes and what he's doing. Because if Malcolm Rodriguez, who was a 6th-round pick, is able to come and get on the starting unit, and most people felt like, that Malcolm Rodriguez would probably be a special teams guy. Or maybe the coaches probably thought that this guy would be just another dude, just another linebacker that would be on the special teams. But this dude worked his tail off and eventually was able to get into the starting lineup and was able to gain the favor of linebackers coach Calvin Shepard. Now, the biggest thing now going forward for the Lions, in order for the Lions to have true success, you need these young guys to be able to step up. You need the Kerby Josephs to take the next leap. So when a guy like Tracy Walker comes back, you know what you're working with. You know if you have to re-sign Elliott. I think that Kerby Joseph is becoming a playmaker. This is something that the Lions need. They need guys that can make plays on the defensive side of the ball. If you got a defense and you want to win football games in the NFL, you got to have a defense that can stop people. And that's been the story with the Lions at the beginning of the season, is that the Lions can be in shootout games with everybody, but they can't stop anybody. You can't stop tight ends. You can't stop the run game. It's nothing that you do well. But if you see the growth and development of guys like Hutchinson, Josh Pascal, Malcolm Rodriguez, Kerby Joseph, Derrick Barnes, all these young guys that are on defense, if you're seeing their growth and development, then you know that you're headed in the right direction. Because truly, if you really, really want to do this thing correctly and get this thing done right, you have to have guys that's panning out. You can't afford to keep drafting guys and these guys don't work out for you. And if you notice, if you ever been through the history of the Detroit Lions, that's what it's been. It's been a bunch of guys being drafted, but none of these guys turning out to be solid football players. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to be an all-pro caliber player. I'm not saying that every guy that comes on the team is going to be a Pro Bowler. But what I'm saying is these guys should be solid. These guys should be solid players. Now, there's going to be a couple players that may be on the defensive side of the ball that will be impactful guys. And that's what you need on your defense. The Lions, like I said, the Lions need linebackers that can make an impact. I definitely think that the Lions still have to draft a few linebackers until we really, really get this thing right and really head in the right direction. We need guys that can stop people. And I think, when coming into this draft in 2023, that when you're drafting defensive guys, you need to be drafting guys that's going to make a difference and they're going to bring the best out of other guys. That's what you need, because you want that defense to be a unit. You want those guys to be in sync with one another. And if those guys are communicating and they're in sync with one another, then you're going to get a lot of turnovers. You're going to get a lot of strip sacks. You're going to get interceptions. you're going to get the takeaways and the turnovers that you want in a football game. So it's very vital and pivotal for the Lions to let these young fellas grow and develop. And not all of these guys are going to be Pro Bowlers. Some of these guys are going to have to work their tail off because you play for the Detroit Lions and nobody really respects the Detroit Lions. Let's just, let's take it at face value. Let's just keep it a hundo. I'm going to keep it a hundo with you. Nobody really respects the Detroit Lions defense or team, period, in the NFL. You know, when you play the Lions, you automatically think that it's a W, that you're going to win the football game. But the narrative has to change in Detroit, where when you come to play us, we're one of the most ferocious and tough teams that you'll ever play against. Even if we lose the football game, you're still going to be that team that is definitely, teams are going to be fearful to play you because they know when they play against you that you're going to give it your all. So I just feel like if the growth and development is there with the Lions, skies is going to be the limit. Kerby Joseph coming off a MVP type of game. I'm just talking about this game. I'm not saying that he's the MVP on defense for the whole entire season. No, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say anything of that nature. But what a huge game from Kerby Joseph, man. He's already been out there for the last few weeks making a lot of contribution and plays. And he's been hitting guys. If he's not been hitting guys, he's been making plays. And that's what you want from the safety spot. The last time the Lions had a safety that was a ball player and made a lot of plays was Glover Quinn. Glover Quinn is probably one of the best safeties I've seen that the Detroit Lions had on their team. So if they can grow Kerby Joseph to being the player that he needs to be, then I think ultimately this team takes off. I think that this team will get better. If Derek Barnes steps up to the table and can be out there in the starting lineup, then you can go out there and address certain positions on defense that you may need. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with Levi. We know that Levi is dealing with the back issue, chronic back issues, and he may not never play again. Or he may possibly play again. I don't know. The jury is out on what Levi is going to be. But right now, Levi can't help us right now. So you need Josh Paschal to pan out. You need Josh Paschal to take his game to the next level. Since he's getting the opportunity to play, he's playing inside and outside. You want the best, and you want these players to get better. You know what I'm saying? You want Charles Harris and the rest of the defense, Aiden Hutchinson, all these guys to grow together on defense. That's the only way that the Detroit Lions are going to be successful in the future, is if they get this defense together. Now, I know that Lions, they have one of the best offenses in the NFL, and the Lions can put up points. It's been, the recent weeks, the Lions have been struggling, to put up points in the second half or just put up points, period. But at the same time, the biggest thing is to get this defense better. And definitely you want to get better by grabbing some key pieces in 2023. Maybe the Lions grab another defensive tackle. Maybe they grab another defensive end. Maybe they grab a safety in the corner or a few linebackers. I still think that one of the top priorities is being able to have some linebackers that can play. And if Derek Barnes and Malcolm Rodriguez are developing and these guys are becoming studs at linebacker, then maybe you get you one or two linebackers that could be in a rotation or they could be starters. It depends on what type of defense this team is ultimately going to be in, because if you're in a 4-3, normally when you're in a 4-3, you have two good defensive ends, that are able to get in there and create a pass rush. And that's been the biggest thing from the Lions, being able to get the push from the middle, like from guys like a Liam McNeil and Josh Paschal, and then Charles Harris, as well as Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson definitely is having he's having a decent rookie season. I'm not going to say it's the greatest in the world, but he is making plays whenever he gets the opportunity to make plays. Does he have things that he needs to work on? Yes. He needs to work on having an array of different moves. When you get to the NFL, you have to be able to have different moves because you're not going to be able to beat every tackle with the same move. Sometimes you're going to be able to have that bull rush. Sometimes you're going to have that chop move or that swim move or that just a move that'll be able to get you, to the quarterback, to put that pressure and to be ultimately to be able to get the sack. So I think if these young guys continue to develop, Kerby Joseph, Derrick Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, Aiden Hutchinson, and all these guys that you drafted, if these guys continue to work hard, continue to put the work in, then ultimately at the end of the day, I think that the defense will be a lot better coming into the season in 2023. This season is going to be a season of guys getting experience, guys getting the opportunity to be able to make plays. And that's what you want to see. If Kerby Joseph is making plays, then you know that you got something. And that's the biggest thing with Brad Holmes is hitting on these draft picks and not just hitting on the guys late. That's great when you're hitting on picks late because you want to hit on late round picks, but also being able to hit on them first round guys, being able to hit on them second and them third round guys. When you're hitting on guys like that in the draft, then you know that you're going to be headed in the right direction. So that's what I want to see. I just want to continue to see the growth and development of guys like Derrick Barnes, Kerby Joseph, Malcolm Rodriguez, Josh Pascal, Aiden Hutchinson, all the young guys that's on the team. I want to see these guys develop so that you don't have to keep drafting the same thing over and over every season, that you have an opportunity to address some things on your offensive line, or you may have the opportunity to grab another running back, or you have the opportunity to grab a backup quarterback. Those are the things that I want to see being done, because I know a lot of people say that the future is bright in Detroit, but only the future is bright when these players are developing and they're growing. So that growth and development is very key and vital for the Detroit Lions to have the type of success that they want in the future. All right, you guys, this is Raw Detroit, and I'm out of here. Peace.
Brian Little.